You know, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him.
Tank Davis has never been one to hold back his words, and this time he's got the boxing world buzzing again. The drama started when the prestigious Ring Magazine Awards took place at the iconic Royal Naval College in London. It was a memorable night, with the biggest names in the sport in attendance: Alexander Usyk, Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Lennox Lewis, and many more. The event was star-studded, but there was one glaring absence: Gervonta "Tank" Davis. When Tank realized he hadn't been invited, he didn't stay quiet. True to his outspoken nature, he took to Instagram to vent his frustration. He was not just annoyed, he was furious. Tank reposted an image from Matchroom Boxing's post of the night and let loose, calling out everyone involved. "Why invite everyone except me?" he raged. "Stop dealing with these people." He didn't stop there either. He went on to call Eddie Hearn a little rat, adding, "Look at the little rat thinking he came up on something." Tank went even further, telling them all to fight each other if they got such a stacked roster. The tension continues to rise, and Tank's words are sure to leave a mark on the boxing scene.
Tank cannot fuck with Terence Crawford at all. Y'all keep pushing for that. He will destroy Tank.
Tank didn't stop with just Eddie Hearn. He had a lot to say about Turki Alalshikh, the owner of Ring Magazine and the man behind many high-profile events in Saudi Arabia. Davis tore into him, accusing him of being out of touch with the sport. "They want to act like this guy is good for boxing, but he's not," Tank said angrily. "If he's so good, why isn't he building up talent from where he's from?" He didn't hold back, adding, "This guy knows nothing about boxing, and yet they're turning to him." For Tank, this wasn't just about being left out of a high-profile event. It was deeply personal. It was about who gets to be celebrated in boxing and who gets overlooked.
Fighters now, like, trash. Yeah, they trash. I think back in the day, fighters was better than the fighters today.
Tank seemed to believe the whole event was more about playing favorites than celebrating real talent. He didn't hold back from taking jabs at the fighters who've been heading to Saudi Arabia for Turki Alalshikh's Riyadh season events. "Lol, they have to go over there to make money and still lose," Tank wrote in his rant. "I sell where I'm from, America." He mocked the boxers traveling overseas for big paydays, pointing out that they're fighting in front of small crowds just for the large checks. They go over there, get their asses kicked, fighting in front of only 19 people. But because they're rich, it's all good.
Obviously, all the fans want to see you and Tank in a ring this year. Do you think Turki Alalshikh's the man to make that?
Yeah, I think that that's going to be a tremendous fight. I think he's saving boxing, so once Tank gets with him, and I think the fight's going to happen.
For many, Tank's comments seemed bitter, but he stood his ground, making it clear he wasn't about to bow to anyone or chase money like some of the others. His frustration and anger were evident, and his words showed just how disrespected he felt by being left out. It didn't take long for Terence Crawford to jump into the drama. Known for never shying away from taking shots, Crawford saw this as the perfect opportunity to poke fun at Tank on Twitter. He couldn't resist posting, "I see somebody mad they wasn't invited to the Ring Magazine gala," complete with laughing emojis. The tweet went viral almost instantly, with fans from both sides chiming in. Crawford's emojis made it clear he was enjoying the moment, and his post only added fuel to the fire. Fans were eager to see how Tank would respond, and as expected, Davis didn't disappoint. In no time, he fired back with a heated response that kept the tension high. "You're nothing but a puppet," Tank said, addressing Crawford directly. "We're all chasing after the money. You're one of the reasons I want to leave this behind. Boxing's become boring. It's all about the money now."
Hearing some rumblings about Terence Crawford versus Tank Davis. And when I think about this fight, I am getting Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia vibes.
Tank's reply was filled with frustration, not just toward Crawford, but at the state of the sport itself. He seemed fed up with how things were unfolding in boxing, and his words hinted at deeper issues he's been feeling for some time. For Tank, the sport he once loved appeared to be losing its soul, replaced by money and politics. The back and forth between Tank and Crawford didn't come out of nowhere. These two have had brewing tension for years. While they've never fought, the rivalry between them has always felt personal. Tank has always been confident in his skills, even boldly stating at one point that he would knock Crawford out if they ever faced off.
What changed? What made this shit trash, garbage?
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD.
On the other hand, Crawford has remained at the top of the sport, building a legacy as one of the best. The clash of egos between these two fighters has become something boxing fans can't get enough of. They represent two different sides of the sport. Crawford is seen as the ultimate professional, always chasing greatness and willing to take on any challenge, while Davis brings the swagger and fire that fans love, always ready to speak his mind no matter who it offends. This latest spat has only added more fuel to their already intense rivalry. Fans can't stop talking about the possibility of these two finally settling things in the ring. Even though they fight in different weight classes, the idea of Tank and Crawford facing off seems unlikely. But in boxing, anything can happen, especially when there's bad blood involved. For now, it seems this war of words is far from over. Both fighters are standing their ground, and neither seems willing to back down. Fans are left wondering what will happen next, whether it's more insults, a confrontation, or perhaps, one day, an actual fight. Whatever unfolds, one thing is clear: the tension between Tank and Crawford is only growing stronger, and the world is watching.
Like Tank say, 147, I knock Bud out.
Well, he just talking. You know, he got the confidence in himself that he believed that he can do that because he's been knocking all these fighters out that he's been in the ring.
However, not everyone views Tank's actions negatively. In fact, some boxing greats are praising him for not entertaining the Saudis. Tim Bradley, known for speaking his mind, has been one of Tank's biggest critics over the years. From criticizing his style in the ring to questioning his commitment to the sport and even his resume, Bradley hasn't held back when it comes to Davis. But recently, it seems something has changed. Bradley now appears to be trying to mend fences with Tank, even going as far as to publicly praise him for standing his ground against what many see as the overwhelming influence of Saudi Arabia and the money tied to it.
How far away are we from getting Bud Crawford and Tank Davis? And would weight be an issue there, or would that just be a matter of you waiting for him to be ready for you?
Yeah, no, Tank is at a lower weight class than me. He's at 135. I'm at 147. That's 2 weight classes apart.
So he would have to come up.
Yeah, because I wouldn't never.
You can't get that low.
So that's not gonna happen because I saw people talking about it. You don't.
Bradley's latest comments came in response to Tank's recent outburst about Turki Alalshikh and the boxers flocking to Riyadh for big paydays. In fact, Bradley seemed to admire Tank for having the courage to speak out on something many others were clearly avoiding. He couldn't help but offer his praise, though with a caveat. "That's why I respect Tank," Bradley said. "Hey Tank, you got a new fan dog. You're a real one. Lately, you've been showing me you're a real one, and I like that." Bradley's words seemed sincere as he gave Tank credit for not falling into the trap that other boxers had, chasing the big paydays in Saudi Arabia at the expense of their integrity. Bradley went on to say that Tank was one of the few fighters who wasn't willing to stoop down or grovel for money. The former champion praised Davis for standing firm, choosing not to compromise his principles for a hefty payday in Riyadh. He didn't hold back either, making it clear he admired Tank's decision to speak up. "I like what you're doing, man," Bradley continued. "You're saying, I don't need that money because you don't want to go over there.